Hello, Daphne here with another video for you. This one's titled Insights About Travel from My Worldwide Adventures. So these are things that, this is a list that I have come up with as a result of years and years of traveling around the world. And I hope some of these suggestions will be of interest to you because I have found most of them I didn't know to begin with, but the list got developed over years of trial and error. Okay, number one, no question about it. Traveling is good for your mental health and your physical health. There is always a renewed sense of well-being and excitement when thinking about and planning an upcoming trip. Boy, if that isn't true, I don't know what is. Before traveling, search the weather and the temperatures to expect in the foreign country to assure yourself that the proper clothing is packed. This is a good one. A smile is a good idea, especially when making contact with a local person, because a smile is universally known as a very friendly gesture. So true. No matter how many times you visit a destination, it will be a completely different experience with each trip. Something new and magical always happens. It was different than ever before. Make sure that you always bring along a portable USB charger, as batteries seem to, at least for me, they seem to drain more quickly whenever I'm on a trip than they do at home. So that USB portable charger can come in very handy. Send yourself a postcard. Yes, I love to do that. I send myself a postcard from each destination to remember where I've been. And we have got a collection of them from all over the world, which are fun to read, especially since some of the trips were forgotten. Always travel with someone who is on the same wavelength as you. Boy, oh boy, is that ever important. With a traveling companion that is not on doesn't have the same desires as you, you're in trouble on a trip, that's for sure. Okay, here's another one. Often on trips you have a chance to meet the most extraordinary people when you least expect it. That has been my experience. And those meetings are just pure treasures. All trips require a day or two without being jam-packed with activities. A time to just do whatever you want, be a little free, not be tied down to a schedule. I love this one. Plan on going somewhere new every year. Getting angry in foreign places is a very bad idea. Keep an open mind and be polite. Bring extra food. Excuse me, I'll start again. Bringing extra food on a plane is a very good idea because we all know what is served to us at 30,000 feet in the air is not all that good. So some delicious snacks or some fresh fruit would be a welcome change from the food presented on long-haul flights. Another thing that's very important and can reap really nice suggestions is asking local people where to eat. Not a tour guide, not a tour director, but some local person will have a much better idea of where the best places are. When checking in at an airport, always get behind a person that looks like a business traveler and not behind a family of children. A family with children. Never, never, never litter. Make sure you either tuck that little wrapper or piece of garbage in your purse or find a nearby trash can. I have found over the years that the definition 5-star hotel is very different in different countries. So keep that in mind. Morning flights are less likely to be delayed than afternoon flights. I found that to be true. Also, make sure that when scheduling connecting flights, you have at least 3 hours in between connection times. Packing light spares a lot of hassles, especially if you plan to bring gifts home, save you from buying another suitcase. Or sometimes I will pack one of those portable suitcases that you can fold over, and they don't take up much room in your suitcase, for situations where I might find stuff to bring home that I hadn't necessarily planned on, or I should say that didn't fit in my suitcase. Surprise your husband or children with a trip is always a good idea. And we've had some memorable ones that were surprises and some very memorable ones that weren't surprises, but they were all fabulous. Travelers who walk in nature find their negative feelings are poof, gone with the wind. I like that one. Negative feelings really need to disappear when you're on a trip, that's for sure. Always a good idea to learn a few phrases in the language of the locals. This makes you, as a foreigner, appear more friendly and gives the local person an incentive to help you out if such help is needed. Checking your phone all the time is not a good idea. It immediately, I don't know, it doesn't say anything good about your desire to see what's surrounding you in a foreign country if you're always looking at your phone. So I tuck my phone away and only check it at lunchtime and in the late afternoon. Take a metal water bottle through security. That way you can fill it up with water at your gate and not have to pay those expensive prices for a simple bottle of water at an airport shop. Always be aware of public Wi-Fi. You never know what kind of a hacker is going to be on there. So if you can use Wi-Fi when you're at your hotel, it's much better than using it at a restaurant or a cafe, I found. And there's a lot of ways people can get into your computer on a public Wi-Fi system in the middle of some town overseas. Do not get upset when things go wrong. Inevitably, on every trip, there's going to be a snafu or two. And goodness knows I've had more than my fair share of them. And I find that if I stay calm and continue having a positive attitude, that the situation will eventually take care of itself, and I will go on with my trip with no more interferences or no more being upset at something going wrong. It's easy to get upset, especially if you're a little tired, I found. So try to remember that no matter how tired you are, you won't get upset, because it puts a damper on your trip. It ruins it a little bit. And we certainly don't want that. Say yes to more trips is the secret to an amazing life. Happiness for me is filled with new and exciting adventures. They fill my heart with joy. They get me excited beyond recognition. And even just the planning of them makes me incredibly happy. I love searching out new and different destinations. I love talking to people about travel. I love experiencing travel. I just plain love getting on a plane and finding myself in some foreign country. I don't know how to explain the kind of joy I get from this, but it is amazing And the more travels in a year, the better that year. And as I always say to myself, the trip I didn't take is the one I will always regret. So I'm always making sure that if I plan an itinerary, I take advantage of it and off I go into the wild blue yonder.